Buzzcocks, Harmony in my head. Now, things are flying here at XFM. People have called in. There is a video of freaks on the way. Carl's going to see that within the week. That's exciting. That's exciting for me. Do you know what I mean? About our education of Carl. We started off trying to teach him about science and history, and now we just find that he likes pictures of hairy Chinese kids and women. Who doesn't? No, true. You've got a theory about pictures of freaks, haven't you?
You see, you always bring things up that I don't want to talk about, because I'm really worried that people, if you've just tuned in for the first time, it's the first time you hear it, and we're talking about hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Talking about the human worm.
Carl, listen. People don't think that you're taking the piss out of those people. They lump you in with them. Do you know what I mean? They think that you're a freak of nature. So you can say anything you want. Do you know what I mean? Because it's honest, it's from the heart, it's genuine. So... don't worry about that.
Yeah, but Suzanne was saying last night that I've got a heart of stone, or whatever it is.
Why?
Because I wasn't crying at Comic Relief. And all I always used to say to her, get out Elephant Man, let me watch that for 30 minutes, I'll be crying my heart out.
Why? Why do you care about that but not...
because it's... that is more real, isn't it, right? Think of John Merrick.
Sorry. What, the film starring John Hurt... is more real than footage of starving people in Africa?
No, but what I'm saying is, think about... see, this is why I didn't want to bring it up, because people are going to just say...
well, you're allowed to cry at what you like. People can't have you for not crying at someone and crying at someone else.
Imagine that, like, if you've seen the film, you know, his head's all, you know, messed up and that.
Yeah.
He's getting picked on all the time.
Yeah. By Michael Elphick, I remember.
Yeah.
It's just really, really sad. Whereas, you know, we're trying to help out.
But you give him a bun and he forgets it.
Do you know what I mean, though?
He never forgets, Rick.
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
Oh, God.
We're giving away stuff again.
Yeah.
Tell
me your theory about freaks who have their picture taken.
No, I'd leave it.
No, can I tell you...
we'll do it next week, then.
Can I tell you what this is?
Go on, quickly, what is it?
Right, when he sees a little picture, like, in these books he's got, he carries round those things, right? And there's, like, a fella with a little head with some, like, able-bodied people. He goes, the only reason... he must know the only reason they got to take that picture, right, was so they could show their mates, say, look at me, the little fella with a little head. That's his theory.
Yeah. So every picture of a freak, they're being...
Steve, let me describe the picture to you. This little fella with a little head.
Right.
Playing on the piano.
I've seen it.
All his family stood around, and mates and that. When have you ever seen a picture of someone playing the piano and everybody wants to be in on it? Doesn't happen.
Maybe it was one of those kind of Christmas cards they sent out to everyone.
It wasn't. You could see one of them was, like, in a rush to go away. He was probably planned to go out, and he was like, but they were taking a picture. It's, oh, I'll be in it then before I go out. And it was all... he's out of order.
Yeah.
If you say... do you know the one I mean?
I do know the one you mean, yeah.
Go,
what about the one in the, when you went down to Cornwall, in that little
we'll
pub?
Talk about that next week.
What, you want to get on, do you?
Yeah, right.
Alpine Stars, burning up on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Steve, you were out of the room there.
Mm-hmm.
Carl took a phone call from someone.
Okay.
He's found a cellmate.
Right.
Not a soulmate, I think one day they will be cellmates.
Yes.
Because he's just like, he loves everything Carl loves, and he was telling Carl stuff, and Carl's face was lighting up.
Yeah.
He's told him of 2 Russian kids in the circus. They're covered in hair, and their mum tells them off because they're covered in fleas. Carl said, see, that annoys me again, innit? They do something else. And the bloke went, yeah, they should just make money out of being hairy. And Carl went, exactly. And he said, have you heard of the three-legged juggler? And the bloke went, no, what's that? He went, that annoys me as well. Because he thinks they shouldn't have done juggling, they should have done football.
Do you know what I mean, though, Steve?
What do you mean a three-legged juggler? What are you talking
about?
He's
a famous three-legged juggler.
Oh, he's mega famous. He's like the Beckham of wherever he's from.
But the other day I was looking in, I don't know, Bizarre magazine or something, right? And there was this fella who, he had no arms. So you saw a picture of him, his job was fixing watches, did it with his feet.
Go on.
Well, it's just, why pick the most hardest job to do when you haven't got any hands? Crush grapes. Or... do you know what I mean? That annoys me.
Oh, Crushed grapes! Imagine him being told that he comes into the careers advisory where they go, now, what do you want to do, Hargreaves? Make watches? Right, take a look at your arms. Crush grapes, mate. Sorry, you're a grape crusher. Next. Brilliant. Brilliant. I would love you to be a career advisory in some sort of clinic. It'd be brilliant.
I like the fact that it annoys you. Here's a man, he's got no arms, he has learned to fix watches with his feet.
Yeah.
An incredible talent, incredible skill, he's utilising that brilliantly. That's annoying to you. You are angered by it.
I'm only being honest. Now, you be honest, right? Your watch is broke. Who would you go to? You're in a rush. You need it fixing in a rush. Now, you need some fresh wine.
Be honest.
Oh, you're amazing.
But what's this thing that you've been talking about, this video?
Freaks, right. It was a thing that was banned for like 50 years. I think it's been taken off again, but I don't know why, if it's just been deleted, right? It's a quest. If anyone out there has got a copy of Freaks on DVD or VHS, can Karl borrow it, please? I mean, I almost want to set up a camera to see him watching it. It's absolutely real. They used people in the circus of the time. I think it's the 20s or 30s of the Depression. And there's people, there's coneheads, there's a bearded lady, all genuine. There's a bloke they call the Human Slug who's got no arms and no legs, Karl. And he's just there, and he rolls a cigarette and lights it with his mouth.
I think I've seen his brother, who isn't called the Human Slug, is called the Pillow.
Right. How does he make a living?
He,
Does anyone want to meet Karl for money? Do you know what I mean?
the annoying thing was, right, there was a picture of him. I was going to put it on
I think I've seen his brother.
on our website, we put things up like this, right? If you go to ricky.gervais at xfn.co.uk /
What? You put things like that on my website? It's nothing to do with me. I want people to know that that website is not kept or looked at by me. So, what have you put on there?
There's a fella on there who's known as the Pillow. And he's, you see, I get a bit worried with things like this, because we're not sort of having a go or anything. It's just things that
Fascinate
me.
you.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's a guy, it might be the same sort of thing. What's your one
I
called?
bet you used to stare at people with goiters, didn't you, when you were little? In Tesco's.
Or just go to xfm.co.uk / Ricky, it is.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen on, like, a human face?
You know what it is, and
What
I
is
don't
it?
want to talk about it.
I can't remember. Have
No.
you told me?
Yeah.
What is it?
But go,
It's not
go
the
to,
elephant lady
Go
that used
to
to-
the, yeah.
Is it the elephant lady? You talked about that, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it again. Go to the website and see the Human Pillow.
Why is he a human pillow?
That's what annoyed me. I thought he was more of a draft excluder.
Oh, that breaks all kinds of rules.
Letter to Hermione by David Bowie. Well, after that, I think he wrote The Laughing Gnome.
I know, it's just, the thing about David Bowie, I feel the same way. It's like, he's clearly a great, rock musician, great fun records, I saw him at Glastonbury, absolutely fantastic entertainer. But his songs have never gripped me, they never got me at heart,
Except that one.
Except that one, that's
Yeah,
the first one I've
yeah.
ever heard of his, which really got me in the
good.
gut.
Yeah.
Amazing lyrics.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Karl, what were your thoughts?
It's alright.
Yeah, you're a poet, Karl. Play something else then.
Blur. Coffee and TV. Good to hear that one again.
Yes, good.
For that, Radiohead, True Love Waits. Well, Steve, it's time for my world-famous film review.
People love it.
Yeah.
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 How can I just ask, before
Go on.
you crack on with the film review, I notice you often do films that people have already seen.
Well, you see, that's what I mean. That's why I think your film review failed, because people didn't know what film you're talking about. They hadn't seen it.
Yes.
See, there was mine. I picked ones they've seen.
Sure.
That
Because a lot of people would say that the benefit of a film review was the fact that they hadn't seen it yet, so they were going to make up their mind based on that.
I don't know. I don't know who'd say that.
I prefer Rickers.
Okay.
See?
Alright,
Hey.
Karl. See, there you are again, being nasty to me.
No, it's he's got a choice.
Alright, anyway, so my point is that how would you hope people would use your reviews? Right?
However they want.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
So
Would you hope that they'd maybe seen the film but they hadn't yet made up their mind?
whether they liked it or
Whether
not.
they liked it or
well,
not.
this is up to them. This is, you know, this is for everyone. It's easy.
So if someone say it's, because I think, was it, you did, one of your most famous ones, I think, was, One for the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Now that came out, I think, in 1975.
Yeah.
So maybe some people saw it in 1975, haven't yet made up their mind as to what they thought
Yeah,
of it.
now this put them straight and what to look for next time, maybe.
Okay.
Now, ready? Ricky Gervais film review.
Sure.
Review. Right? Chosen Rain Man.
Rain Man, okay. Now this has been on TV quite a few times and it was a multiple Oscar winner.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, okay, right. Rain Man, it's got Tom Cruise in it,
Yep.
and he's alright, he's normal, but he finds out he's got a brother who's a bit mad. Dustin Hoffman is doing it, right? And it's meant to be. He's all weird, but he's meant to be, so it's good acting. Now, oh god, he needs to keep his brother, but they don't want him to have a brother, and he doesn't remember a lot, but he dropped him in the bath and burnt him when he was little, clumsy idiot. But then he finds out he can make a bit of money, so they get the same suits, and they go bet 2 for good, well, because he's got special powers. So he can know what the roulette. He wins that, and he drops some toothpicks. He knows how many there are. And he recognises the waitress just through the book. He's got all his football cards. Don't put them out of order. Don't go in the telephone box with him, he smells. And get him back in time for Jeopardy or watch it. Anyway, then they slap his head and get worried. Qantas don't crash. So he's got all that. And in the end, he doesn't, I don't think, but at least they've met each other.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, Rain Man, a film about autism, which is strangely appropriate, I think, when you're reviewing it.
Anyway.
What would you give it out of 10?
Oh, 9.
Okay. Thanks very much for that. Useful? Yeah? Have you seen the film before?
No, I will now.
Okay, jolly good. Well, excellent.
New Order. 60 miles an hour on XFM 104.9. Well, quarter of an hour to go.
Yep.
We've still got your song for the ladies.
Song for the ladies coming up. Time now, though, Rick, for Under the Covers. You've got me covered. Cover Me Bad. Which is when we play a cover version of a well-known hit.
Just see the sort of effort that goes into the show.
There's a lot of work.
We've learned something. We've learned the only bird with a penis is the swan.
Swan.
We've had an interesting anecdote where he saw Orville.
I saw Orville.
Yeah.
Keith Harrison Orville.
We've had a film review, Rain Man.
Informative.
An award-winning film I reviewed today.
Yes.
So
that was an Oscar winner, Carl.
ants. There's been things about ants.
Ants never sleep.
Yeah.
If you missed the beginning, you won't know that fact.
We've had various songs,
Music.
and that.
Beautiful.
So carry on, Steve.
Cover Me Up. The White Stripes, everyone's raving about them, Rick.
Sure.
They are an exciting band, and this is their cover of the Dolly Parton classic, Jolene.
Love it already.
Can I just give you a little fact here? Someone's emailed in for you, Carl. They've sent an interesting fact for you. I think you're going to be interested in this. Don't read it on the email. Let me read it for you. I think you'll be excited. An interesting fact from Carl. That's from Toby. He says, Attila the Hun punished some fella who annoyed him by cutting off his arms and legs. You'll love this. And stitching his arms back where his legs should be. And vice versa. Look at his face. Look at the little smile that's just cracked on his lips. That is the kind of fact you've been waiting for all day, isn't it?
So go on, again, so...
Attila the Hun, right? Some guy didn't like. He cut off his arms and his legs, and he stitched his legs on where his arms should be, and his arms where his legs should be. Look at him looking at his body, trying to picture it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let it sink in for a little while, then I'll ruin it for him. Carl, what are you thinking?
I'm just picturing it.
Right, he would have died. It would have been tokenistic. There's no way that person could have lived through it. So, it was just for the Hun's fun. He probably put him on a stick outside his gate or something. There's no way, in those days, that he could have gone through complete limb amputation and...
So would he have wore a jumper for pants?
Who's the winner of the competition?
From Walthamstow, it's Joe Ogden. Well done, Joe. You got the correct answer, which was what? The
Fella with 2 heads at number 50.
number 50. Is that it? Are we off?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cheers. More of the same drivel next week. maybe.
Bye. Bye.
One of the prizes on Carl's competition this week is the very best Led Zeppelin. That's obviously rock and roll. We've also got Live Forever, Britpop CD, Marion and Jeff, and Red Dwarf. And should we play it again so people
There's
have got
this
another
hairy
chance?
Chinese kid.
Who
Yeah.
are the artists?
Here we go.
It's tricky. It's not very easy. Once more.
One more.
Well,
hard.
there you go.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. Those prizes can be yours. I, at the quiz, also discovered, of course, and I don't know, I'm just intrigued to know, Carl, I'm just intrigued to know. It was your girlfriend's birthday, wasn't it? Earlier in the week? Or last week?
On Monday, yeah.
And, I mean, obviously it was a triumph with the stuff you got her for Christmas.
The condoms.
The box of condoms.
Box set of condoms.
Oh, yeah.
not just the singles, the whole set.
Yeah, a complete collection.
Brilliant.
So what did you go for this
What did
time?
you get her?
Yeah, but...
No,
Yeah,
but it's her birthday. How long have you been together?
About 9 years.
Okay, so, ooh, God, it must cost you so much.
I know, but it starts getting tricky, doesn't it? Because I spoiled her a lot in the first few years.
Yeah.
So then you
Here's
start...
a packet of rubber bands, enjoy them.
Oh.
Well, it's what she wanted.
Okay.
I mean, you're making out as if...
No, everyone wants paper clips. Come on, what did you get her?
Got her a new pair of gloves.
Right.
Alright, well.
And?
What, nice leather ones from Selfridges or Harrods or something?
They were good ones, they're the sort she likes, so... They
Well,
weren't...
they weren't the little woolen ones that she had.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke when she said he got me these, because I laughed.
No, but I know that's... The one she did have,
When they said it's his birthday, right, it was her birthday Monday, and me and Steve wanted to get her, and she went, he got me these, because she had those little woolen gloves on. I laughed, because I thought she was joking, Carl.
That's what she wanted.
Right.
I've told you before about buying presents. It's
Did those gloves have your name sewn in them? And a piece of string that ran over the back of your duffel coat?
You know, I've never been into getting presents and that. I had the problem at that Christmas one, that time with the Victoria Plum.
Yeah, we'd hate that. We'd hate to bring that back.
We've done that.
Because you talked about the book, because it's kind of to do with your dad, isn't it? He's a very bad gift buyer, was that the problem?
Well, yeah, my dad just wouldn't bother. It was my mum who sort of made an effort, and she sort of worked out half of what I wanted, then she left it to me dad to get it off someone, see if he could get one cheap or whatever.
I love the fact that usually people talk about, like, drinking heavily, or violent abuse, right?
Yeah.
But here's what he's been left with and scarred with from parents is bad gift buying.
Yeah, and
That's
the
not so
Victoria
bad,
Plum
is it?
incident.
In the greater scheme of things in the world,
Yeah, but-
that's not a bad thing to have, is it?
Right, there was this, this is what it's like about getting presents and stuff, right? With my mum and dad.
Go on.
My mate, Colin, right? He
Colin
had,
Makin?
No, Colin Bailey,
Oh,
right? He had a little Sinclair Spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Computer,
Yeah.
which was like the thing to have at that time, right?
yeah.
You used to always go round to his house. The deal was...
Not the one you had to play through the window because you weren't allowed
No, that's another lad.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is a different lad, and the deal was, he came to our house, and my mum gave him a pie, and then I'd go round to his, and I'd stay there for a few hours playing, you know, Hungry Horace and stuff like that on it.
Sure.
Right? Now, my mum and dad knew that I really wanted one of these computers, right? So I waited about a year, came round to Christmas Day, I thought, I reckon might have one. Turned out they bought me the wrong one. They bought me a ZX81 instead of a Spectrum, right? And Christmas Day, I'm there trying to load the games up. It's not working. I'm thinking, what's wrong, right? And the thing with me when I was a kid, I used to get quite sort of agitated.
This is the moment.
Right? I found out that it needed a RAM pack to make it work, right? Looking in the thing and it's saying, and make sure you put your RAM pack in the back. And I was like, oh, where's the RAM pack? And my dad's going, I don't know, I've got you the main bit. That's it. So, I was that wound up, I just was sick, right? Just sick. Oh, I didn't feel sick or anything, I just was like, oh god. Went to the sink, just sick. Because I was that on edge about it. I said, come on, we've got to get one. And my dad's like, Tandy's shut, we're not gonna get anything today. Ruined again, Christmas Day. That was after the year when my train set got blown up by our kid. The following year, no RAM pack. And now you ask me, why don't I get good presents?
He's scarred. He just
I'm
threw
gonna
up.
die. Honestly, I'm gonna die. He's just being sick.
Yeah. There's no RAM pack.
Did you get to the bottom of it? Why wasn't there a round putt?
You have to buy them separate.
Oh,
It's one
right,
of them
okay.
cons.
What do you mean I can't play Frogger?
Oh no.
So, wasn't there another incident when you threw up? Spontaneously threw up?
Oh.
Through sheer anxiety?
I do get it. It's not so much now because I've relaxed a bit, but as a kid I used to be quite on edge all the time with certain things.
Do you think that's what happened to your
The
cat
wind.
that kept being sick? That it didn't get the food it wanted, and it just threw up. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
God, so they shaved it.
Yeah, but again, you see, the cat thing... I mean, it's mad. I was thinking about it the other day, right? I used to think I had quite a normal upbringing,
You didn't.
right? And someone was talking
Your
about the
mother
cat.
once told you not to go to school because it was windy, Carl. It was
Yeah.
not
Right.
a normal
The
upbringing.
cat was being sick, so she shaved it, so it was easier to clean.
Right, well, my mum and dad went on holiday, right? And I stayed at the Rosses down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Only a kid, must have been about 5 or something, right? And I was always running around in the house. I had a lot of energy as a kid. What the Rosses did, they had this cat that was dead violent, the most violent sort of angry cat I have ever witnessed.
A tiger.
Honestly, Steve, if it was bigger, it would have been, because it was just always having a go at you.
Yeah.
If you went to pat it on the head, it went to bite you and stuff. And what they used to do with it, to stop me running around, I'd sort of be running around, and then I'd get a bit tired, and they'd say, have a lie down on the settee. So I'd lie down on the settee and I'd nod off. And what they used to do, I'd wake up, and I'd put the cat on my belly. Right? So I'd be scared to move, because it's like it's going to get me.
But it would keep you
But
there.
it kept me there, and it used to sort of slaver on me, and they'd sort of, you know, go out or whatever, and I'd be lying there. That's not normal, is it?
Carl, sorry, were you created by the Brothers Grimm for one of their fairy tales? What kind of a life is that?
A cat paperweight to keep Carl in place. He keeps blowing around. It's windy. We'll have to weigh him down. Be careful. Your mum probably told him that it's a windy day. You got to get something heavy on him. Otherwise, he just gets blown into the road.
Prizes.
Yes.
List 'em.
Rockbusters.
Yeah.
It's one of the big exciting quiz shows, and this may be one of your last chances to play. There's rumours that it's going to get ditched, Rick. Rumours that Karl Pilkington, the creator and mastermind behind it, has already grown tired of it. It's off from the way. You heard them earlier on, the very best of the Stone Roses. From that, we played I Want to Be Adored. That's one of the prizes. That's a nice little Christmas compilation.
Second hand now then, really, isn't it?
Second hand, yeah.
Yeah.
50 years of the greatest hit singles. I'll tell you, there's some great stuff on here.
Oh, go on.
Opens, Rick, with Bohemian Rhapsody.
One of the biggest number ones of all time.
If you've not heard that enough already, you're followed then by John Lennon's Imagine, Candle in the Wind, Elton John. You've got
all on
sorts on here.
one CD, Stephen.
Well, it's
These are some of the greatest rock
They've
minds.
chosen some of the best songs by some of the best artists.
on.
Paul McCartney's Mull of Kintyre. That's on there. We've got let me see.
That is pretty impressive though, because they are real big classic number ones, as opposed to, you know, the song by the artist they didn't really care about. You see those things on this is not available in the shops, and it's, you know, the second best song artists have done.
It seems odd that we're giving it away on XFM because it includes Robbie Williams' Angels,
Yeah.
Atomic Kitten's Whole Again, Spice
Sure.
Girls Wannabe, Kylie Minogue's Can't Get You Out of the Head, and I think it closes, well, it almost closes with Steps Tragedy. That's the penultimate track. It ends though, any ideas? Big hit single.
But
Did they know it's Christmas, Band-Aid? Perfect for your Christmas party, I'd have thought that.
Sure.
We've also got the Groove Armada current album, is that from them?
Yeah.
And signed by the man himself, the Big Beach Boutique DVD, Fatboy Slim's concert on that Brighton beach, and there's all kinds of treats on there, and includes an audio commentary by Norman Cook. I don't know how that works. 3 hours of him going, this is where the needle almost jumps.
Yeah,
Watch us for this. I did a little bit of scratching. I'm not very good at scratching, but just look forward to that.
I'm putting a different track. You'll see me there.
Yeah.
There's the crowd loving it.
Here's me. I'm just waiting. This is where I go from Conga Squad to Basement Jacks.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
That's one of mine. I'll pop on what you see there. I've got Praise You ready on it.
Yeah, I just got that. That was slightly dusty. I just had to wipe that down with a damp rag.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Plus, I suppose this is good if you're a fan. This is a box set of the first series of Linda Green. I think a new series starts this week, or has already started. I'll tell you what I found when I was clearing up, Rick, because I know there's not a big movie this week, and we normally give away a big movie. I was moving house this week, and I found a video that you're more than welcome to if you're a fan.
Burt Reynolds?
No, it stars Kurt Russell. Executive Decision. I've got that to give away if you're interested. Executive Decision with Steven Seagal in a cameo as well. So I think it's on TV this week, Rick. So if you miss it this coming
Channel
Friday,
5?
you don't tape it this Friday.
Well,
here it is on.
bring it in, because I think Carl's excited about that. I think Carl would like to win that,
There's
wouldn't
some
you?
great prizes
Well,
there.
how about if you come up with an extra Rockbusters today? for like the bonus prize.
I don't think I'm the man for the job, Carl. I think it has to come from your unique take on the world.
Carl, I don't think you've quite worked out why you're funny.
Right, and just a quick example, one of the first ones we did, it was like AK, and the clue was exploding pet, and it was atomic kitten, right?
Yeah.
So you understand how it works now. These are your clues. The first one, that army has got some nice trenches.
That army has got some nice trenches. Excellent.
And the initials there are DW.
Do you write some of the questions for 15 to 1?
Go on.
So that army has got some
a similar
nice
phrasing.
trenches, okay.
Okay.
The second one,
What were the initials there, Carl, on that person?
DW.
DW.
Yeah. Right, the second one, the top of them curtains are all wrecked. All the materials all worn.
He acts it out though. We've got to get him on telly. We have got to get him on telly because his little face and his gestures.
That's the second one. The initials being HV. Okay, the top of those curtains are wrecked. All the materials all worn out. Right, HV. And the final one. Here's the final clue. I was in Texas the other week. Right, I tripped and landed on my knees in a puddle.
What's the initials?
WH for that one. So I was in Texas, I tripped up, landed on my knees in a puddle. So that's WH.
Incredible.
Okay, so the first clue was that army has got some nice trenches.
Yeah.
That was DW.
Who's that?
Dandy Warhols.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Alright.
It's good, yeah.
The second one, the top of them curtains are wrecked, all the material is worn.
Yeah.
HV, that's Holly Valance.
Oh, he got a phone call for a woman saying I haven't heard it, and he was talking to her off air, and she went, what is it? So-and-so them curtains. She went, oh right. He said, you know the thing around the top of the curtain is a palmet, not a valance, and he went, cut her off.
Yeah, but my auntie's always making balances on everything. I'll tell you about that next week, right?
I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
Is this the one that farted for 5 minutes?
Yeah, the very same.
Yeah.
Right? So, we'll talk about that. I was in Texas, I tripped up, I landed on my knees in a puddle, WH,
Yeah.
wet knee Houston, right?
Wet knee Houston.
Yeah, so...
You're a maniac.
Clocks from The Coldplay on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, and back, Karl Pilkington.
Hey.
He's raring to go. It's nice when you have a bit of time off, isn't it?
Yeah, how long have you had off now
About
then,
3
Carl?
weeks.
About
About
3
3
is it?
weeks, yeah. We can't do that because we're sort of self-employed and we'd be letting people down. But it's different when you know, you get paid anyway whether you turn up or not. But good to have you back. Good to
I'm
have
never
you.
off ill.
No,
That's the
good-
first time I've
No,
ever
I
been
just-
off ill, like
Well, no,
except-
I mean, just you're off 2 weeks and then you're off.
No, I just wish I was the kind of person who could let down an audience
I
of,
know,
of regular
really, yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, but like I say,
Well, no, we spoke to you. You weren't that bad. A cold, you don't go home for a cold. We were discussing this last night in the pub, and you know, you don't go home for a cold. Okay, then, so moving on. What have we got then? We've got some
Wasn't
great
cold,
songs.
though.
I've brought in the Smiths. I've brought in Buzz Cox. I've brought in Neil Young. I know Steve's got some hip hop.
Some great hip hop.
I've got
Hooray!
some great Elvis Costello. It's going to be great. Carl, come on, concentrate. You've been away for 3 weeks.
just annoys. No, stop saying that.
What?
Because you're annoying me now.
Why? Oh,
that
what
what
are
you
you do? Go home ill? Oh, he's annoyed me. Oh, has he? Yeah,
I got a bit of a headache.
I'm a little bit annoyed. Can I have some time off but still get paid? Yes, of course you can,
Steve,
Carl.
right, he called me up, winding me up about this, and, right, I'm 30, right, I'm 30 now. I can only remember being off 2 times.
Oh, his memory's going as well. You'll have some time off.
And both of them were when I was at school.
School? What's school?
One when it was windy.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
But to be honest, Carl, that lasted for
wait.
7 years. Your time
wait,
off at
wait,
school.
wait. Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
Were you windy, or was it windy
No,
outside?
it was like when
Your auntie wasn't out the window, was she?
when the winds were bad in the 70s, and my mum said, oh...
What? Whoa. What? I remember space operas and flares. I don't
Yeah.
remember the winds being bad in the 70s.
Well, my mum just said, you might get blown into the road, so don't go.
She had so much faith in you, didn't she? As a human being.
Is that why she got fired from the pie shop? I'm not coming in today, I might get blown into the road.
Oh, God.
The funny thing it was, right, Steve, they had this thing going at school, because a lot of people used to wag it back then.
You still what?
Wag it, sort of not go in,
Right.
right? And they sort of try to make it interesting for you by giving you a
An
certificate if you did a full week.
Reward for the rest
Yeah,
of your
exactly,
life with
yeah.
achievement. That sort of carrot.
And also, like, let you go home at 3 o'clock on a Friday, right?
Right.
If you'd done a full week in that.
Yeah.
So it was lovely weather all week. Then it just sort of changed on a Friday, and I got up and it was all windy.
It's
My
always
mum
windy
said,
for Friday on 7, isn't it?
don't, if you don't go in because, you might get blown into the road and that. So I said, all right, then I'll stay off. And,
So why did she told you to hold on to a fence or
Yeah.
walk you there? What's this? Don't go out. if you
Immediately
get
give
blown?
up.
I love this getting blown into the road. Is that based on your cats that kept getting blown into the road?
well, so I got to school on the Monday, right? And the teacher said,
Took you a
right,
long time.
today, to punish you, you're the only one who wrecked the whole week, right? Everyone else came in, you didn't. So everyone else is going home at 3 o'clock today, but you're not.
Brilliant. Serves you right. And
I wasn't bothered though. It was great because I said, well, you'll have to stay with me, won't you? And it was
Brilliant.
great. So all I did for half an hour was doodle and stuff. It was great that afternoon.
yeah.
And that was ages ago. That was like when I was about 8. And that's one of the times I was off ill.
Yeah.
So it was.
But that wasn't even ill. That was wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit different when you're
to be honest with
adult
you-
world though, Carl. You can't just not turn up because you've got a bit of a cold or you're a bit fed up. I mean, we had an appointment 4 o'clock Thursday, wasn't it? And he had to call it because I cancelled it. Meeting went on a bit late.
Yeah.
Time management. Get things done. If it was important, you'd get it done. Play a record, Carl.
Pull your finger out, please.
Oh, talking about my dad. Steve, you'll love this, right?
Go on.
My dad hates being ripped off, right?
Yes. Well, no, I can relate to that. That's important.
Hates coming to London now. He always wants me to go and see them rather than come here because he just thinks London is like a big rip-off. Last time he came, he got annoyed because I bought him a scone and a cup of tea for like 3 of us, and it was £14, and he just was livid. And then we had an argument about that. And then we went to the Millennium Wheel, and I said, do you fancy going on this? He said, oh, all right. And then he saw the price, and it was something like 20 quid or something. And he said, 20 quid to go up in the air to look at stuff that's on the ground. He said, I might as well stay on the ground.
Brilliant.
Right? Thought, good point.
His logic is impeccable.
So anyway, this is going on. Anyway, he spoke to me the other day. I said, how are things? Are they all right? And that. He said, oh, being ripped off. I said, why? He said he ordered, do you know the place where he got a new bed from because he cut the other one
Of
in
course,
half,
yeah.
right? He got this bed out of a catalogue. So he sorted out a payment on the phone. He said, look, you're ripping me off a bit here on the interest thing, but well, let's do a deal. We'll sort out a new monthly payment that's different to what it says in the catalogue. And they said, yeah, we'll go along with that. Anyway, so he sorted that out. He was happy. The bed arrived. It's a nice bed. He said, that's great. So anyway, he got the bill for it, and it was the original price.
Oh, I thought it might be the case, yeah.
Right? So he called up and said, I'm not happy with this. He said, we said a deal. And I'm like, oh, no, don't know what you're talking about. He said, right, don't send me your catalogues anymore. He said, I'm not buying anything from you. You're a rip-off merchant. Right? So anyway, few weeks go by. Post comes. Only another catalogue in the post.
He's livid.
Right? So he was well annoyed.
Yeah.
So he looked on the back, and it said on it, this catalogue will always be property of, the company that does it. So you can't throw it away. If we request to have it back, we've got the permission to get it back off you, right? So he thought, right, well, they're out of order. I told them not to send me one, and they have done, and they're saying I can't chuck it away. So he called them up and said, all right, Mr. Pilkington here, bought a bed off you, you conned me, and that. But, forget that. We've dealt with that. You've sent me a catalogue, I told you not to. It says on the back here that this will always be yours, yeah? So, in a way, you're using my house as a warehouse. I'll be charging you 26 pence or something a day.
Brilliant.
He said, you already owe me £6.28. Something like that.
Genius.
And, sorted it out. So again, it just...
So hang on, but are they going along with this?
I don't know what happened. He said they sounded annoyed and said they'd get back to him, and they haven't. But he said, I'm not bothered. They can take as long as they want because the money just keeps going up.
Yeah.
So-
What sort of profit has he made so far?
Well, when I spoke to him in the week, it was like £6 odd.
Yeah.
I think that was on Tuesday. So he's just leaving it.
He's
It's like
laughing.
an investment.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like an antique he's
It's
bought.
just,
Yeah.
it's just going up every day, so,
Well, keep us posted on that. That's dynamite. One day we need to speak to your father.
Yeah, I think so.
So many questions need to be asked of him.
In fact, I might set and give you a letter to take home.
Yeah.
Dear Mr. Pilkington, your son Carl.
New single from Nick Cave. I think you'll
I'm
enjoy
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I've got that feature Educating Ricky, which is a bit of a play on words as well. Right. Do you know the film, Steve?
Educating Rita.
Yeah.
I see what you've done. Go
I'm
on.
doing that, and I teach Ricky stuff.
What do you teach me, Carl?
Well, I've got a few different topics.
Go on.
Do you know, like how you taught me about Hitler and Che Guevara and Winston Churchill? Mm-hmm. I'm going to come in with topics every week, and this week I've got
Ghosts?
No, hanging bacon is one of the topics.
Say that again.
Hanging bacon.
Hanging bacon.
All the titles.
Francis Bacon.
No, all the titles are sort of named to sort of tease you and get you more interested in it.
Hanging bacon. Well, you've certainly intrigued.
Go on. What's another title one?
Hairy Chinese kid.
I'm gonna go for that one.
If there was a university degree with that title.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for hairy Chinese kid.
And
I think.
the final one.
Yeah.
Alien gives man a beard.
Right.
Alien gives man a beard.
I am gonna burst. Right, listen, Carl, you've got to tell me. Right, first, right, let's do it in reverse.
No, we're not going to do it now anyway.
What do you mean? We've got to do it now. I mean, this is the first interesting thing you've said in an hour. Okay, the listeners have just been subjected to rubbish and mistakes and everything for the last 6 months. Please, we've got to do Alien gives man a beard. What is that? Tell us that.
Right.
Sorry, this is just you telling me something, is it? This feature is you telling me something.
Well, teaching you something. Educating Ricky.
So are we playing it now? We're already into this feature. Well into this feature, are we?
Yeah, I suppose we are, yeah.
Should there not be a jingle or something?
Yeah, can we have a
Well, there's
jingle?
no point, because look, I come up with ideas and you dismiss them straight away, so I'm not wasting my time making stuff.
Right.
If you don't like
well, okay,
it.
let's play Educating Ricky.
Right.
Brilliant. Go. Right. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Educating Ricky.
Right, what we going for then? Hanging the bacon, hairy Chinese kid, Alien gives man a beard.
I think Alien gives man a beard.
I'd like to do that.
Right, there's this fella, I think it happened in America, and he saw a bright light in the sky. And,
God, if you're bored.
and he stood there.
This is a true story, is it?
Yeah. He stood there,
Yes, of course it isn't, Steve.
and he saw this bright light, and it came closer and closer, and it was a UFO, right?
Yep.
And he looked at it, and it disappeared, right? And he gets back in his car,
He looks in the mirror.
and he looks in the mirror.
Yep.
He's only got a beard.
He hasn't.
You sure it wasn't someone else who got in the car and he was still standing out there?
No, right?
What?
And it turned out,
Yeah.
he got home and said to his wife or his girlfriend, it's a bit weird. So I just got out of the car to look at a bright light, and I got back in the car and I grew a beard, and she said, never mind your beard, where have you been for 3 days? And what had happened is...
He passed out because he was pissed.
No. The UFO had taken him for 3 days.
Yeah.
But he'd only thought that he'd only looked at it and it went away.
Yeah.
But what had happened is he took him and he grew a beard because he hasn't had a shave.
Right, okay. I mean, was Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones anything to do with this at all? Did you see this on a video maybe and thought it was an educational film?
No, it's from a book that some kind person sent in to me. Here.
Can I just ask again, just again, I'm just throwing this right back at you. Do you think there's any other possible answer here? Right? A man is absent for 3 days from home.
He's
the
grown a
length
beard.
of time that it could take to grow a beard, lest we forget. What if he hadn't actually seen a bright light in the sky?
What if he was
he'd been
lying? What if
drunk?
he was lying?
He'd got knocked unconscious, he'd had a car crash.
Just
any
lying.
number of other
No,
things.
just lying.
Or he was just lying.
Yeah, he'd been on a bender, getting pissed for 3
Yeah,
days
and that
with
was
his
his
mates.
excuse to his wife.
And they went, Dennis, what are you gonna tell your wife?
Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
He's not going to believe I was out with you lads.
Just say you're only away for a minute. No, I wasn't away from it because of the beard. Oh yeah, look, it looks like you've been out for 3 days. Well, we have. That's
Exactly.
right. Okay, we've got to cover that then. Alien abduction.
Great one.
Okay, let's try that.
Do you see? That's a little scenario there that could have been played out.
So, when you say educating Ricky, what have I learnt from this? Never listen to you again. That's all I've learnt so far. Never listen to you.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more in here, right? To
Well,
spice this
no,
up.
what do you mean add a little bit more?
We'll add a bit more to this, what I'm educating you about.
Go on.
Right. There's only a law in America that says if you touch a UFO, you're going to get done. Now, why would they make a rule? I don't know that. Do you know, like, all their rules have a code?
Carl, I genuinely do not know what you're talking about.
Right. Do you know, like, how here they might have...
Do you know
I
what?
have no idea.
Right.
Okay.
Do you know, like, over here...
I'm listening to Capital on these headphones. I got Foxy on from yesterday.
Right, let's bin that.
No way, it's great. No,
I want to hear about Airy Chinese Kid.
let's play a tune. And
Okay,
let's come
play a
back
tune,
with
come back with Chinese
Play
Kid,
that-
definitely.
Some doors.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought I'd go back,
Oh.
take it back to the 60s. This is a tune that a friend of mine sent
If
me.
you touch a UFO, you get done.
Soul Kitchen from the Doors.
Shambles today, this.
Now, but we've got, thanks for staying, listening. Right, okay, educating Ricky. What have we got? Airy Chinese Kid, go on.
Right, yeah. This is the... I didn't want to do this.
What do you mean you didn't want to do it?
Well, I wanted to give you three, and I gave you one. It was like the alien man gets a beard or whatever.
Yeah,
And-
which was total rubbish, so this one should be better, maybe.
Hey, Chinese kid. Right, well, we've talked about airy people in the past,
True enough.
haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, the little kids who grew up in woods and hung around with wolves and that.
Yeah, again, you're confusing it. Yeah, they're not. There were some people that were born very hirsute. They were not the people who were brought up with wolves. You just put that together in your Homer Simpson type mind.
Right, well, this is like a sort of close to that sort of story.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, right, Chinese people aren't that hairy as a nation. No, seriously, that's a well-known fact. They don't have that much body hair and stuff.
Okay.
So this little kid who was born over there, he was like covered in stuff,
Was he?
and it was only his nose that wasn't hairy. The rest of his body was caked in hair, right? And his hair sort of
What
grew.
sort of hair was it? Was
thick hair.
No, what I mean is, was it sort of like a pony's mane, so he just looked like an Ewok? You know what I mean? Just like hanging down, sort of straight,
Well,
dark
it
hair.
looked, in the picture, it looked like it grows
was it
from his
downy?
eyebrow. It grows from his eyebrows quite thick, and then it just goes all the way over
You
his
don't
head.
think it was just really long eyebrows that he'd done a comb over?
No, it was all over his body. It had a picture of like his back and that.
Yeah.
And
Had he styled it? Had he styled it at all? Did he have it in a quiff or?
no, it was just
hanging everywhere.
all over him.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, this is a bit weird, happening in China, where we're not normally that airy.
That was the scientist speaking there.
Yeah.
And the press, the local press and that were getting him down, calling him monkey boy and all this.
Oh,
And
thinking Chinese press.
but the doctor,
Yeah. Oh.
They're cruel, aren't they? It's like those game shows. That's Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all that. Yeah.
and the doctor said,
I was Carl talking through all that time while we were just like talking to each other then. Because I turned round and I still saw he was talking. Go
So
on.
anyway, the local press came down to see the hairy boy, the monkey
yeah, and
boy.
they were like being tight and taking the mickey out of him. And the doctor said,
Showing him nuts.
he's only airy. Said he's a healthy young kid. The only faults he's got is he's got a little bit of eczema and a boil. And he said everybody should just treat him the same, and I think he grew up a healthy kid. Yeah, so that's the
That's
the end of the story.
That's not a story.
why.
But I've got nothing. I don't know what to say to that. So someone in China was born slightly hairier than the rest, and he was normal apart from eczema and a boil. That to me isn't a story. But if it is, I've got a million. I mean, it's sort of like bloke from Manchester went a bit bolder than the rest, got a job on radio. He was normal. I mean, that's not a story, is it? Do you know what I mean?
All right then.
Hang on.
Oh God, he's got the big guns. You're not going to give us hanging bacon, are you?
Yeah.
Come on then, come on then,
Right.
come
This is what
on,
we're looking
come
forward
on.
to. This is it.
No, this is a good one.
This is the one.
And this is a story, right? Do you know the saying, chewing the fat?
Good one. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Talking.
Right. Well, do you know where it came from?
No.
Right, what they used to do years ago, when people didn't have much money.
Is this the same as the throwing the baby out of the bathwater?
No, it's not the it's not the same saying, but it's...
No, but I mean, is it as wrong as that was?
Well, let me tell you, and we'll
Go
see.
on. Okay.
Like, people go out to work, and with the money, they'd buy food.
Oh yeah, go on. This is a good system. What? Go on. What do you mean? People go out to work and with the system.
And if you were quite well off, you might treat your family to some bacon, right? But do you know, like in these days, if people earn a lot of money, they might buy a nice suit or a car.
Yeah. So what are you saying? You're saying wait. Let me get this straight. You're saying that you go out to work and get money to buy things to live, and if you get sort of enough money to live and you've got some left over, you might treat yourself on like a suit or a car or something. Is that what you're...
Yeah.
Oh,
but back then, if you earned money, they'd say...
This is olden times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get some bacon in, right? And what they'd do, they'd hang it in the kitchen.
What, to show it off?
To show it off to all the neighbours and friends. Because if you had hanging bacon, it was like, he's doing all right for himself.
Yeah.
Some lovely bacon.
So they had loads of bacon hanging up, and people would come round, right? And whilst they stood in the kitchen talking about whatever they're talking about,
In olden times.
they'd say, do you want a bit of rind? And they'd rip a little bit of rind off, and whilst they're having a chit-chat,
Chewing the
they'd
fat.
chew on the rind.
Well, I think that's probably true.
And
I
it's
haven't
like-
heard that, but that one to me sounds true. Do you see the difference between that one and a man was abducted and grew a beard? Can you see the difference in
Yeah, but
why I
different-
accept that story?
Different stories for different things.
Different stories for different things. So, see, that's a nice story. If it's true, I don't know if it's true. I mean, but it seems totally possible, viable, quite interesting. I won't be quoting that myself until I've verified it. But that's, you know, I won't be telling anyone the bloke got in the car and he had a full-faced beard. Why has his car been towed away?
Because it was a quiet road.
Was it?
Wasn't in the way. So.
Are you filling in the blanks again? That wasn't in the book, was it, that you read? See, that's the thing. Sometimes I think you make up bits of the story as though they were fact. That doesn't seem right.
Well, that's all you can do, innit? So that's educating Ricky. Will we
Brilliant.
do that next week?
That is brilliant.
No, I think
Carl.
that was good. I did. I mean, I enjoyed that. I learnt something from that.
I mean, I want to get I mean, this is all from one book, is it?
Yeah.
That's an interesting book.
With the, I don't want to dwell on it, but with the hairy Chinese kid, what did they say about that? What was the, I mean, was it once there was born a kid who was slightly more hairy than everyone else, but yeah, it's all right. He only had a boil. How did they word it? How did this capture your imagination?
There was a
Well,
picture.
it was a picture that grabbed me first of all,
Sure.
and it was like, God, what's up with him? And that's when I read it.
Did you see the boil in the eczema or just the hair?
No, you see, because his face is like, just under his eyes is sort of nice and smooth, and his nose is sticking out, and that's not hairy. But the rest of him, it looked like he had the sort of a balaclava on or something. And then I read on, and it's like, this is a hairy kid in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Good. Anything else in there? Because I mean, I like that.
we'll do more of that next week.
How is that alongside hanging bacon, alien abduction, a hairy Chinese kid, and a little interesting fact about the derivation of a phrase?
What do you mean?
He didn't understand a word of that. I knew the word derivation was going to cause problems. I thought derivation shouldn't have come out.
No, I wasn't disputing. He's all smug because he's had a phone call. That was Beck, lost cause. Go on, tell him why you're all smug.
Because Adrian just called up.
Yeah.
After hearing the story about the Chinese kid.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, that's true. He said that there was a TV programme on it.
Yeah.
He had a chromosome defect.
Yeah.
And it made him hairy. And his mum and dad used to have to shave him. That wasn't in the book. But, thinking about it, that's not a good move anyway, is it?
What
Because they say
shaving?
that for women, if you get a few hairs on your top lip, don't shave it because it'll grow back thicker and faster. So...
They should just, let him be
They should have just said, well, let's see how bad it gets. But if they went in there straight away if he came out as a baby and a little bit hairy, they should have left it maybe, for a little bit. But Adrian called up and said, yeah, he was hairy, he was
Yeah, but
alright.
we weren't disputing there was a Chinese kid born slightly hairier than the rest.
We were disputing the fact that you didn't actually tell us a story. You just told us a
And
sort
what
of
we are
selection of facts.
disputing is that man was abducted by aliens for 3 days and grew a beard.
Yeah.
That's definitely not true.
No,
We don't know about chewing the fat, but it sounds quite viable.
Yeah.
You see, the difference is between me and Steve and you is that what we believe isn't random. Do you know what I mean? It's not random. The things that
we don't believe stuff just because it's interesting.
it's not every other thing we believe and every other thing we don't. We
Well, I
sort of
think
like,
Carl believes stuff if it's interesting.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
If he thinks, oh, intriguing.
Boo hoo hoo, it won't do. Listen to the Gallagher Boys and stop crying your heart out on XFM 104.9. No need to. It's Monkey News.
So that is it time.
Time for Monkey News. Can we have the jingle?
Oh, chimpanzee, that Monkey News.
I love the jingle.
Right, well,
Can we play that jingle once more?
Yeah.
let me cue it up.
So, chimpanzee, that Monkey News.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Got a lot to live up to now.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, often that jingle is more fun than the Monkey News.
Yeah.
So you've got to excel yourself this week.
Well, it's there's been a lot going on.
In the monkey world.
Yeah, I was looking at the Guinness Book of Records that we bought last week.
What you bought?
What that I bought.
Is it still wet?
I was cleaning the tea off it. I was having a little read through, and there was some monkey stuff in there. There was this isn't the actual story. I'm just telling you
Yeah.
what it's like looking up monkey news all week.
It's like behind the scenes. It's like the making of Monkey News, which is actually available on DVD.
Exactly.
It's 12 minutes unseen footage, just the making of Monkey News, which is my favourite bit in a way. If you enjoy Monkey News, see how it happens. See, from conception to.
It's all put together.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. What's a typical Monkey News day?
Well, there was some stuff about a monkey in the Guinness Book of Records. I think it had the record for asking for a cup of coffee in 23 different ways.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Oh.
That's good. Just to show the monkey news is getting bigger and people are covering it. Donald McIntyre, he was on BBC
Yeah.
on Monday. He
That was on
doing
Channel
some- No,
wasn't he?
no, he hasn't moved over yet. This is
right,
something that he did for the BBC.
Right.
So that was pretty good. That was about well, it wasn't good. It was pretty sad, really.
What?
He was doing this thing. Do you know, like last week we were doing Cheap as Chimps,
Yeah.
and someone emailed in saying, Donald McIntyre's doing Cheap as Chimps,
Really?
and it was about.
I bet he wasn't. I bet Donald McIntyre did not do a programme
they
called
didn't
Cheap as
use that
Chimps.
title.
No.
But you could tell where they'd got the format from.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it
sure.
was about gorillas and how much you can get one for. But the problem was, because they're that pricey, they were sort of. I mean, I don't even want. It is depressing.
If it's
actually.
cool, then don't. Yeah, forget it.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Okay.
You know
I mean, can I just say, in the making of Monkey News and Cheap as Chimps, not anyone ever is harmed.
No monkey's
No,
harm.
no. Go on.
All right. Well, anyway, today's story was emailed in.
So you didn't even do anything towards it. So when you say I've been working on Monkey News, what you printed that out?
So is the making of Monkey News you checking your email?
Well,
Brilliant.
no, I'm always looking at different options at how much is going on.
This is what makes me laugh when he says he's really busy.
Yeah.
I'm doing other stuff and that. I'm doing other stuff.
People are sending in Monkey News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get an email.
Is it
check
from
it out.
Reuters?
Well, listen, it's from Steve.
Okay.
Right? Now, what it is this monkey, right?
Yeah.
Don't know where it was. But there's a bit before the monkey, anyway, right?
Jeez.
Is this? No, listen.
Shoot me.
Right? It's a bank. There's this bank, right? Busy bank. Normal day, everything's going normal, right? Busy bank, people going in, doing what they do, seeing about mortgages and stuff.
Yeah.
Everything's normal, everyone's happy, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's quite busy one day. Fella comes in with a gun and a balaclava on.
Up to no good.
Right, I'll tell you now, Carl. If this fella turns out to be any ape or monkey-related species, you're never doing this again. You're never. So just if you want to finish it, it's at your own risk. But if this fella who robbed the bank turns out to be a chimpanzee, that's the end of Monkey News.
All right.
Okay, let's
Right.
hear the end. It's a lovely day in a lovely bank. Everyone's happy.
Everything's normal.
The man comes in the balaclava.
Man comes in.
Is it a man?
Starts waving a gun around.
Shut up, Rick. Let him finish the story.
Starts waving a gun around.
Yeah.
Right.
Up to no good.
So everyone's thinking, oh God, wish I didn't come in here. It's not going to be a good day. all
How
the
tall
rest
is
of
the
it.
man?
Shut up. Let's hear it.
Everything, oh God, and he's telling everyone to get down on the floor.
Yep.
In
Everyone's
what? In
thinking,
English? In English?
Yeah.
In
Think so?
English? Yeah.
So everyone's panicking, everyone's getting on the floor thinking this is it, it's all over.
Yeah.
Just when you think,
It's It couldn't
It's all
get
bad
any worse.
news.
Yeah.
It's all bad news. Doors swing open. Little monkey wanders in.
God, it's worse.
Shut up, Rick.
Little monkey wanders in, right? The robber's like, what's going on here? He's telling it to get down on the floor. I don't think it was taking any notice.
No,
right?
it was just busy asking for coffee.
It runs in. I don't know if it was going to withdraw or deposit or whatever. It wanders in, right? Goes up to the robber.
Where did it come from?
Shut up. Will you let him finish the story and then ask questions? That's
okay.
only fair.
Okay.
Wanders in. Runs up to the fella with the gun. Takes the gun and the bag of money off him. Everyone's like, yay, you know, we've been saved. Then the monkey starts backing out with the gun and the money.
Shut up.
see you later.
Sit down and
I'm not having this.
And
Here's the end of the story.
It does a runner with the money and the gun. No one's seen it since.
You are an idiot. I mean, you have said some stupid things in your time. What are you talking about?
It's a story that happened.
No! What are you talking about? What do you mean it backed out? It came in, was it as an accomplice? Was it an opportunist monkey robbery? What are you talking? Think, Carl! Think!
I know it's mad. That's the idea of Monkey News. We're telling people how monkeys are pretty, you know, they're mental.
They're up to no good.
What do you think? They've never seen the monkey since. What, did he have a getaway car waiting? Did he swing his way to freedom? Where was this? There's no details. Don't talk rubbish.
Well, Steve emailed it in. He's got it off the net. And the funny thing is,
Can I
the
see
funny
it? Have
thing
you got
is,
the information there?
yeah, the funny thing is, it wasn't just him who sent it. I had that a couple of times. So a few people obviously read the story and said, you know, that'll be good for Monkey News. It doesn't say anymore. It doesn't say if he went off to Spain. It doesn't say, you know, what, you know, if he's on Crime Watch.
Yeah.
It doesn't say any of that. It's just saying that's what he did. That's the story. And that's what Monkey News is about.
I've heard that they're making a movie version with Phil Collins. So I look forward to that and Julie Waters.
So that's this week's Monkey News. If you've got any, you know,
Well,
anything
no, don't bother.
in your
'Cause
town.
that's the end. No, that is the end. That's the end of Monkey News. No more Monkey News. This is, bit of Queen?
It says it here in this email, Rick. It's got to be true.
Right. 17 to 1.
Yeah.
But you are easily wound up. You are a very finicky little fussy person. You don't like the slightest bit of pressure. See, I thrive on pressure. I'm working here, working there.
That's the way I
bang.
work as well. That's always doing stuff. Monkey News. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Monkey News. I got an email.
Songs
I
of
won't read
phrase.
it to on air. It's rubbish. But
Yeah,
that's one
not-
feature.
it's not
That's
as
my
easy as
bit
that,
done.
it's not
That's
as
all
easy
I
as
have to
that.
do.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I'm away next week, do Monkey News and see what you can find out. Right?
Oh, there's a challenge.
Oh,
See what you can do. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've already told them about the Guinness Book of Records one, so you can't use that.
right.
We're going to find